Hello everyone, welcome to Linda Sue Plants for You. As you can see, I have an Amazon box here. I'm going to open it and show you what's in it in a second. And while I do that, I just want to thank everybody for all the birthday wishes. Goodness, I had no clue what I was starting there by announcing that, but I do appreciate it. It's very, very nice of you all to take the time to wish me a happy birthday. So thank you, and hopefully I didn't miss anybody. There were a lot, and I really did my best to make sure that I got everybody. So hopefully I didn't miss anyone. If I did, I apologize, and I just want to thank you again. All right, going into the new year, I decided I was going to take the plunge and start looking into, well, and I did this once before and I gave up because when I got on the internet and started researching the different ring lights, I was overwhelmed by it all. So I just got out of the computer and put it aside and forgot about it and thought, well, we'll wait till another day. So a couple of weeks ago, my friend Suzette, you all know her, somebody actually told me at one point that they weren't sure which channel they were watching, me or Suzette, when they watch our channels, because we mention each other so often. And I'm not going to apologize for that because Suzette has helped me a lot. And we are good friends, and I appreciate her very much. So I hope you all aren't getting tired of me mentioning her. Those of you that follow her, I know won't be, but okay. And here it is, the ring light. Now I ordered another one because Suzette did a lot of research, and when she told me the light that she got, I said, that sounds really good. That sounds very much like what I was looking for. But the one I got, when I went to plug it in, it wasn't as bright as my three light lamp that I have right now that I'm using. I was a little disappointed because it's the first time I ordered off of Amazon, and it was quite an ordeal to get it back to them, and it's still sitting in my living room in a box. Apparently somebody, when I finally got through to a person, and this whole thing took like 2 hours yesterday on the phone. I was so worn out by the time it was over, I just didn't even want to deal with it. But I finally got a really nice gal, and she said somebody canceled the packing slip. And she said, and I said, well, all I did was press print. And she said, well, you're not supposed to print those out. I said, well, that's what the first girl told me to do. In fact, I even asked her, how am I going to get it to stick to the box? Do I have to tape it myself? And she said, yeah. Well, luckily I do have clear tape, so I was able to do that. I had it all packed up and ready to go, and the first girl told me it would come in 1 to 5 days. The UPS would be picking it up in 1 to 5 days. I said, well, I really don't want to leave this sitting out on my porch for 5 days. Is there any way, to find out? And her answers were so unresponsive. I finally just said, thanks for your help, and I hung up. And then I tried talking to someone at UPS, and they said, no, you got to talk to Amazon. So finally, the end result was the girl who knew what she was doing and who was kind enough to help me said, all you have to do is leave the box as it is right now. And they were scheduled to pick it up yesterday, but like she said, somebody canceled it. And I said, okay. And she said, you don't have to do anything with the label. UPS puts the label on when they come. I said, okay, well, that isn't what the first girl said, but whatever then. The label's already on there. If he wants to slap a new one over it, that's fine too. No big deal. It's packed up very good. In fact, I packed it better than it was packed when it came to me. And I taped it all up, and it's all ready to go. And now they're supposed to come sometime on Monday. So I'm going to put it out there Monday morning. Although our UPS guy in our neighborhood generally gets here between 5 and 6 in the evening. I don't want to miss them. But they did say they would pick it up at no charge because I had no way to get it to a UPS office during their hours. So that finally was the end of that. Like I said, the box is still here. Hopefully they will pick it up on Monday and all will be well. But I don't like ordering things on the internet, and that's one of the reasons. It always, and I know some people do it all the time and they don't have any problems, but it always ends up being one. And at my age, just those little things can really get to you after a while because you don't have the mental clarity to deal with a lot of it. So, but anyway, so I do now have an Amazon account, and my husband has an Amazon account, and I will try it again in the future, but for now I just need a break from it. Okay, so this is my new light. That first light, when I went on and asked, and it had really good reviews, the people said the light was really bright. They couldn't believe how bright it was. So I either got a dud, or they weren't used to light that's even as bright as what I already have. I really don't know what was the deal there. I don't know. But these are all the different fixtures and things you can attach cell phones and cameras and what have you. I'm not going to be using any of that. I'm going to be using this piece, which attaches to the tripod, and then the camera goes on top of there. I'm not sure what this one is. I think this one might be also for a camera to put around the pole, it looks like. I think that's what this is for. At any rate, it tells you what all these things are. This has a, I don't know if it's adjustable. Yes, it is. This is an adjustable camera holder. You can make it wider or narrower. One side comes out. So, okay, I'm just going to pull these out of the box so you can see what I have. And then I'm going to go and put it together. And I'm actually going to try to get a video done today. But I'm going to have to move along here because I'm going to attempt to make a nice dinner here for us for New Year's. I wanted to do it yesterday, but I just couldn't do it, so hopefully today. Oh, and this is a very nice stand. Very, very nice compared to the other one I got. And I want to tell you, the first one I ordered with tax was $33 and something. This one was $29. Free shipping. So for $29, I mean, you can hardly buy a tripod for that. So this is, so far, this is a really good deal. And I know Suzette's been waiting anxiously. Free 1-year warranty. I'm assuming this is the ring. Now all I gotta do is figure out how to get the box open. Here it is. Here we go. We're getting lots of snow again today, folks. Big snowflakes coming down. My hubby's out plowing, and he just came in a few minutes ago and said I broke the plow. So I don't know what he's gonna do. There's not much is open today as far as where he has to get the parts from, I don't think. But, okay. Well, the light looks identical to the one I had, but we'll see. And it's got a pretty long cord, that's nice. But I still think I'm probably still going to have to use an extension cord. Maybe not. Let's see. It's got a USB cable, and I do have a USB port from my laptop or my iPad. That sticks in the wall, and then this sticks inside of that. I think I would have preferred just a regular outlet, but I mean, you know, the AC/DC plug, but I don't think any of them come with that. Maybe the more expensive ones have that option, but it's not that big a deal. I can plug it in my little thing, so we'll be okay. All right, folks, so I'm going to end it here. I'm going to assemble this, put it all together, and then I'm going to do a short video on something else using my new light. And I would love to get your feedback on what you think as far as if it looks brighter to you. Okay, so Happy New Year for now. I'll be back shortly. Well, there it is. I have the ring light set up. It is on the white ring. There's a white and like a sun, almost a yellow hue, and then one with the blue. And I have it on the white, and I have it on the brightest setting. So I'll let you guys be the judge. This is with it on, and this is with it off. I'm going to leave it on during this video and see overall how much better it's going to be, hopefully. Today what I'm going to do is take some cuttings, from this jade plant. So let me get situated here and I'll be right back. Okay, and here we go. This is my variegated jade I've had for quite a while now. In my last, in a previous video, you would have heard my story about my mom's jade, the one that she gave me many, many years ago, and then in one of my moves, I lost it. It was huge. It was almost arched, and it was very, very, very big. But like I said, I lost that one. And when I saw this one, it was little. I think I potted in a 2-inch pot, but I thought, well, I'm going to take her home and see if I can grow her up to look like the one that I used to have. And so far, she's doing really well. What I want to do, though, is shape her into more of an arch. So I'm going to take some cuttings here, and those I'm going to give to my girls because I do believe they both wanted some of this. So that's a good thing. I don't like making too many pots of the same kind of plant. So, you know, we have limited space, and I want to have different plants in different areas, and so I'm glad that I have them to share this with. Alright, I've already got a couple pots ready here, and I'm going to just throw some soil in there. And this isn't going to be a very long video today, I'm afraid. I'm going to try to make us a nice dinner tonight. I want to have my husband's going to have steak, and I'm going to have lobster, which I try to have once a year for my birthday. And so he picked that up for me at Festival Foods. That's a new store in our area, so we'll see how that is. And I'm going to make twice baked potatoes, and I'm going to make baked cauliflower with homemade cheese sauce. So I'm excited for dinner tonight. It'll be nice. I'm going to need my hubby's help with the preparation though, but that's okay. We work pretty good together. All right, I think I'm hoping that you can see down in here. These are new starters that came up from leaves that fell off. I didn't wait for them to callus over or do any of that. I just stuck them back in the soil and they rooted eventually. And so it's filling up the pot nicely. But what I want to do here is figure out which ones do I want to cut off here, because this is getting too symmetrical for me. I like things to be asymmetrical, and this is too even. But I have to think this through because I have more coming up through here. So I think, I'm not sure if I want to go down that far or not. This one I'm going to leave because this one, I wish this one was out as far as that one. Because like I said, eventually I'm trying to get an arch shape, and I'm not good at bonsaiing. I don't know the tricks behind that, but boy, I'm almost thinking I need to cut some off of both of these, but I don't really want to do that. I need some more fullness in here. So maybe I should cut this one. Believe it or not, I've been staring at this plant for several weeks, trying to figure out where I want to cut it. So it's not like I came unprepared. I just can't seem to make up my mind. So I guess I have to just do it, right? Okay. I want it to come out more this way, so I'm going to leave this. I think what I'll do is cut this. Okay, and I lost a leaf doing that, but that's okay. We can just stick that in the soil. And I'm going to have to cut these off anyway, these bottom two, because if the upper part of the leaf is laying in the soil, it will rot. So I just pinched these off. I need to put a little water. And once again, I forgot something. Okay. Cottage cheese covers. They come in pretty handy. Oh, this one's got a rip. That's no good, because that will leak all over the table. Okay, sorry about that. All right, now I have two good ones. I'm going to use my water that I have in my old lemonade container. This is tap water now. I don't use distilled water on my jades. I don't need to. They don't mind the tap water. So that's a good thing. And this one I have, I filled it up yesterday. I put a tiny bit of synthetic fertilizer in there and let it sit with the cover off for overnight. Well, probably more than overnight, but a minimum overnight. And I'm not sure why I do that. I've heard it said that certain things will dissipate from the water if you leave it sit out. So I hope that's true, and I hope that did some good. I don't know. I've never done a study on it or gone in that far in depth in it, so I'm not real sure. I'm making a mess. That soil was so dry that it really ran through pretty quick. But it'll be okay. I just don't want it to get in the crack of my table here because that will cause it to warp. Okay, wow, that was a lot of water, huh? Alright, I think we'll be good. Oh, today is New Year's Day. January 1st. The first day of a new year. And I'm just going to claim that this year is going to be better than last. It has to be. Okay. I know there's many people still hurting right now, and I feel bad for them. We help where we can, but and I think if everybody just does something, just a little something, it goes a long way, really. Just the appreciation that we tried. Okay. There's one little guy all set with a couple of leaves. Should have watered this before I started messing with it. I did notice a long time ago, one thing with succulents, when they need water, that's when they lose their leaves. They drop their leaves, whether it's a jade or a burro's tail, or but that will cause them to drop their leaves. So I should have watered this big one before I started cutting on it, but that's alright. Alright, now where do I want to go here? See, these are the same height. And I want the center to be the tallest part. So I think I need to cut these both back so that this middle one can grow up here. I hope that's what I think that's what I need to do. Alright. Oh, this one's gonna hurt, but I'm gonna do it. Wow. Look at the size of that stem. Okay. One thing, when you pull these leaves off, you can pull them up or down or twist them. But what you have to make sure that you get the whole end of the stem. And I think I'm going to cut this one because it's not wanting to come off. So you want a clean cut like that. Otherwise it won't root. Yeah, and I think I just messed up on this one. There's a lot of the stem is still on there, the stem of the leaf. But it is a clean cut, so I'm going to try it anyway. I'm going to stick it in here and we'll see what happens. I don't know if I should take those bottom two leaves off or not. It's pretty close to the soil. I'm just going to keep an eye on it. I may end up having to take these leaves off because you see how this one is curling down into the soil. See if I can get it outside the pot. You don't want that. You don't want that end of the leaf to be touching that soil because it will rot. Okay, I just moved it over a little bit. So, all right, I think that one's going to be okay. And I think I need to cut these all back because I don't like what I got going on here, so I'm going to cut more off. Cut this one. Now, I know that's hard for some of you to watch. These are some really gorgeous stems that I cut off of here, but the end result that I'm looking for is going to be better off for it. Really what I should do is cut this one off too, but I don't want to. I think I'll leave it and see what happens with the ones that I did cut. I'm going to see how the growth is on here, and if it starts getting kind of wonky and off, then I'll have to reshape it. But I think it's going to be okay the way I have it here. I just don't want this to get too out of hand. But these might grow up past that, so I'm not going to do anything with it for now. I'm going to go get 2 more pots, and I'm going to put these in them and clean up my mess, and then I'll show you what it looks like when it's all done. Alright, and here we have the final product. So these are the cuttings that I took, and this is the mama. She's not shaping the way I was hoping she would, but I'm hoping that after the cuttings I took today that it will change that. And I mean, I guess the worst that can happen is I just keep cutting until it finally happens. And as I'm waiting for that, these little ones will be growing up to fill in the center here. So, and the other thing that happens is that when you cut these, every time I cut these, this stem down here gets thicker and thicker. And the one on my old plant was about this big around. Not the one, but all of this, the older growth. So it gets thicker and gets prepared to hold more growth, more weight, I should say. So it doesn't harm the plant, you know. And this plant I just moved it into my living room under my two LED lights on my round table. But she was doing very well in my dining room as well, on my IKEA shelves that I had in that corner where I get the south and east light. So she'll grow pretty much anywhere. I did notice that her variegation became more pronounced when I moved her into the living room. So I'm going to put her back there for now and see how she does with all the massacring I did to her. But just know that, you know, she will recover from that and she'll be better off for it in the end. And these are all going to grow into big, beautiful plants just like her. So it's a good thing. Well, I hope you all enjoyed my experiment with my new light, and I'm very anxious to get your comments on whether or not you can tell a difference. And I'm going to just turn that light off right now so you can see one more time with all the plants that are there. And the light is on now, and now it's off. I see a difference. I don't know if it's enough to show up on camera, but I guess we'll see. So please do, if you can, take the time to make a short comment about it. But just all you gotta say is better, worse, indifferent, or whatever, and let me know what you think. Hopefully it was a good decision that I made. Alright, so okay folks, I am going to start my dinner. I gotta get my potatoes in the oven and get them baking so that I can let them cool a little and cut them and dig the stuff out of them. And I put in my twice baked potatoes, I put a little butter, a little Velveeta cheese, a little sour cream, and today I'm going to add onion. I've never done that before, but my hubby and I we love onion, so we're going to try that. And then I put it back in the oven until the top of it just starts to brown a little bit. They're delicious. I used to make them every New Year's for my siblings. My brother and sister and I would always get together for New Year's, and that was my thing. I had to make my twice baked potatoes. And then my cauliflower is fresh cauliflower, just cut up or broken up, and I put it in a glass baking dish with Velveeta cheese and dill, a little Italian seasoning, and that's it. A little pepper. And that is one of my cheese recipes. I have others for different vegetables or different casseroles, depending on how I make it. But for this particular dish, that's what I use. And then, like I said earlier, I'm having lobster. My hubby's having steak. And I can't wait. My stomach is growling just thinking about it. So I'm going to call it quits for today. I'm going to go and get this loaded into YouTube, hopefully before the end of the day. And I'll see you all in the very near future. Perhaps tomorrow I'll be able to do another video. We'll see. I have a lot planned, as I keep telling you. I don't have lack of content, that's for sure. So hopefully you all had a wonderful New Year's Eve, and you have a restful New Year's Day. And for most of us, we still have 2 days off. Some of us have to go back to work, but most of us have 2 more days off. So a nice weekend for most of you. All right, my friends, thank you so much. for supporting me through the years, and I'm very close to my 1,000 subscribers. I'm at, I believe, 931. So I'm almost there. I'm getting excited. It'll be a milestone that I've been trying to reach for a while. Okay. Well, Happy New Year, everyone. Bye now.